Alright, good morning everybody out there watching me today. Previously in our other video, we made introduction of this topic, sum and product of roots of a quadratic equation, where we were able to derive the formula we use in finding the sum and product of roots. And if we can recall that coming to the sum of roots, we have the alpha plus the beta, and we were able to derive the sum of roots as minus b over a, right? Good. Secondly, the product of roots. Product of roots, where we have alpha beta, we were able to derive the formula as c over a. So, and I promised you that in my other video, I will be teaching you how we can apply these formulas in finding the sum and the product of roots. So let me assume, okay, let me introduce a question. For instance, you're asked to find the sum and product of roots of the following quadratic equation. So find the sum and product of roots of the following quadratic equation. You will see how this comes in place. Let's have the first equation as 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. Second equation, let's have something like 4x squared minus 16x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, let's also have something of, let's introduce fraction, 1 over 2x squared minus 3 over 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. These are all quadratic equations. So we are going to practice how we can apply these in finding the sum and product of roots of these following equations. So I can clean here. Okay, so let us look at the first equation. The first equation we have here is what? 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. The first thing we are going to consider here is what? We are going to use alphabet to represent the first term of the equation, the second term of the equation, and the third term of the equation. Okay? Now, let us call the first term A, second term B, and third term C. And remember that this alphabet only represents the coefficients, right? So now, A is equal to, what is the coefficient of x squared here? 2. So we have A as 2. B is equal to, what is the coefficient of x here? 4. Right, 4. And C is representing the constant here, which is 4. This is the first step you take. Alright? Now, having taken this first step, remember that our sum of roots is alpha plus beta, which is equal to what? Minus b over a. Now, minus b, what is b here? B is 4. So I will simply say minus 4 because 4 is representing b. So I'll substitute 4 for b. So 4 divided by a. What is the value of a here? 2 divided by 2. And of course, if 2 divide 4 here, we have, because they can divide each other, right? They are common. So if 2 divide minus 4, I will have minus 2. So that means alpha plus beta is equal to what? Minus 2. It's an it from the first quadratic equation. Okay, I'll clean up the equation so we'll have more space. So let's look at the product of roots. So we'll have alpha, beta. So coming to the product of roots, remember that the formula is what? C over A, right? And what is our C from here? Our C is 4 divided by what is our A from here? Our A is 2. So that means we have 4 over 2, which is 2. So that means the alpha, beta here, which is the product of which is what? Is 2. So it's that simple. In that case, we've been able to determine the sum of roots of the first equation, 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 as what? Minus 2, and the product of root as 2. It's that simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so we'll try out the second equation. I'll be cleaning this right now. Okay, so okay, the second equation. The second equation we'll have here is what? We have 4x squared minus 16x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so we are demanded to also find the sum and the product of roots of this particular equation. So we have that alpha plus beta is equal to what? We have minus b over a, right? Now, the minus b over a here, remember what we said. First of all, alphabetically term them. The first alphabet represents the first term. And the coefficient we have here is 4. So we can see a here is equal to what? 4. What about b? We also consider the place sign here, which is minus. So b here we are having minus 16. What about c? C here we are having the constant as 3. So with all of these things, it is very much easier for us to apply this, substitute this, and so on. So you remember here we have minus originally, so we put our minus. What is b? B is minus 16. So most times the mistakes that we make here is sign, forgetting that the original formula will have minus originally, right? Now, from the equation, the coefficient of b here, coefficient of x here is minus 16. So we also remember the place sign that we're having minus 16. So we'll substitute minus 16 here for b. Is that clear? Divided by a. What is a from what we have? 4. So in that case here, we have minus multiplied minus. Minus applies to this minus. We have a positive 16. We have 16 divided by 4. And when 4 divides 16 here, we have 4. Is that clear? So in that case, you can see that alpha plus beta is equal to positive 4. Determined. Secondly, we look at alpha and alpha beta, that is the product of roots. Now remember, the product of roots, we have it as C over A. What is our C here? Our C is 3. What is our A? Our A is 4. So simply we have our product of root as 3 over 4. So we can say that alpha beta is equal to 3 over 4. Simple. We've been able to determine what we need to determine. Alright? I think this is very, very understandable. So let's look at the third one. So this third one here, it might seem a little bit complicated to some of you because it involves fraction, but trust me, there is nothing there. I'll prove it to you. So let us clean here, right? So let's look at the last equation where we have 1 over 2x squared minus 3 over 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. Just the same step that we've been taking. The first term should be A, second term B, and third term C, where we have that A here is equal to, what is the coefficient of x squared here? 1 over 2. B here, what is the coefficient of x here? Minus 3 over 2. C here, what is the constant? 4. So now, having stated all of these things, we remember our formula for the sum of roots. Here we have alpha plus beta as minus b over a. Okay, now we'll look back to our stated numbers here, terms here. Okay, now let's look at it. Minus b over a. What is my b? B is what? Minus 3 over 2. Remember that from your formula you have what? Minus, just as I said before. So we have the alpha plus beta. Now we substitute. Since b is minus 3 over 2 and I have an initial minus sign here, I will put a minus first before the minus 3 over what? 2. That's what I will do. And then I will do my line division. I'm coming to that. Okay, so divided by a here, we have what? From the formula a, we have a as what? 1 over 2. So we put 1 over 2 here. Please, I can clean this up right now. So that's visible to you. So now, at the numerator part, we have minus bracket minus 3 over 2. And when we apply this, minus multiplied minus will give you what? 3 over 2. Now it's just like 3 over 2 divided by 1 over 2. Put our division sign, divided by 1 over 2. Right? Your primary 6, I believe you were taught how division works. So when we are cross dividing, the value here reciprocates. Right? So when we have 3 over 2, when cross divided, it becomes 2 over 1 instead of 1 over 2. Right? So this cancels this. We are left with what? 3 over 1. And of course, 3 over 1 is the same thing as what? As 3. So it's that simple. In that case, the sum of roots, which is the alpha plus beta, is what? Is 3. So we can write it here. Alpha plus beta is already determined as what? As 3. So we put it down. Next up, we talk about the alpha beta, that is the sum of roots. So let's look at the product of root. Sorry. Now the product of root, under the product of root, you have alpha beta. So alpha beta, remember the alpha beta, the formula is C over what? A. Already we've stated what we need here. That let me restate it again. We have that A is what? 1 over 2. B is what? Minus 3 over 2. And C is what? Is 4. Okay, so what we say C over A, what is our C here? Our C is of course 4. So we have 4 divided by what is A here? A is 1 over 2. Right? This one is very simple for us to apply this, just like saying 4 divided by 1 over 2. Right? Remember, as I stated before, that we reciprocate the value when we cross divide. So when we cross divide, this comes out, we have 2 over 1. So 4 times 2 will give you what? 8 over 1, which is the same thing as 8, right? So that means alpha beta is equal to 8. So this is very simple. There is nothing here, but I think the major thing here is for us to really understand the derivation of the formula and how to apply it in getting the sum and product of roots of a quadratic equation.